Hi everyone, Gerry Dulac along with Ray Fittipaldo at Acrisure Stadium, where the Steelers lost to the Dallas Cowboys in the final 20 seconds, 20-17. Our Steeler Report brought to you by Savinas, Kane & Gallucci, Mesothelioma and Asbestos Lawyers with 85 years of experience. Call them for a free consultation. Ray, I'm not sure what was the biggest problem tonight. The defense gave up 455 yards to the Cowboys. The offense managed half that against a Cowboys defense that ranked number 26 in the league and minus two of their best players, including Micah Parsons. And yet it was just a sloppy game. Of course, we know all the issues with the weather at the beginning of the game, and it really never got any better for the Steelers' offense or defense.
Well, how about this, Gerry? The Steelers forced 3 turnovers, didn't commit any, and they still lose the game. I mean, I don't know how often that happens. You know, they call it whatever you want, but the Dallas Cowboys marched up and down the field against them. If Dak Prescott didn't have a couple of bad turnovers, that's a 10 or a 17-point loss at home.
Ray, Dak Prescott by himself in the first half was trying to hand the game to the Steelers, throwing an interception at the 1 and fumbling another time, both times in the red zone. I think the other fumble was at the 11. And then, of course, they fumbled at the end of the game there. That would have been the 3rd turnover in the red zone. I think it was Rico Dowdle was hit hard by Landon Roberts. Dak Prescott fortunately recovered, and two plays later he threw the winning touchdown to Jalen Tolbert with 20 seconds left.
Yeah, it reminded me of the Jerome Bettis play back in the playoff game in Indianapolis, the way that play unfolded. But, I mean, Dak Prescott, Jerry, I think you saw the difference in this game between a top 5, top 10 quarterback in this league and a team like the Steelers, who are really trying to find one right now. I know Justin Fields had a lot of good publicity this week after his second half performance in Indianapolis, but the first half woes continue. 3 points at halftime again. It's not good enough.
Yeah, Ray, that was disappointing. You know, 1 week after they scored three consecutive touchdown drives, they come and play the Cowboys again with one of the worst defenses in the league. They only had one play longer than 20 yards. No run was longer than 8 yards. They struggled. Yeah, Justin Fields had 2 touchdown passes, but he only had 131 yards passing, his second fewest total of the year so far. And Mike Tomlin said after the game, when you play a good team like the Cowboys and a quarterback like Dak Prescott, and he has the ball in his at the end of a game, has the ball in his hands, he said, there's a good chance you're going to lose. Nobody says that about Justin Fields because, and that's to your point, that's the difference. They have a Dak Prescott, the Steelers don't with Justin Fields.
Yeah, and you saw early in that game, Gerry, Arthur Smith broke some tendencies in that game. They were passing on first down, taking some shots down the field. Justin Fields said afterward he thought he missed Connor Hayward by about 6 inches down the sideline, and he told Darnell Washington on that play down the seam had to give him a better chance to catch that ball too. So that's 2 on the first drive right there. There were a couple more. It's not like Arthur Smith was holding him back. I think Justin Fields in the offense were really trying to kind of shooting themselves in the foot.
Yeah, they were taking the chances and they were taking deep shots down the field, and I gave them credit for that. But even on the field goal drive on their first possession, on a 3rd and 8 play, they ran for 5 yards. Instead of trying to get the first down, instead of trying to make a play, instead of trying to score a touchdown, right off the bat they went conservative despite those attempts that you mentioned. And as they went, going down the field. And that was just another example of how they play conservatively instead of taking some chances early in the game.
Well, you want to play to your strengths, but how many games in a row is it going to take Mike Tomlin to realize that maybe this defense, with all the injuries, isn't cracked up to what it maybe was before the season when they were healthy? I mean, they're missing Alex Highsmith. Players continue to go down. DeMarvin Leal exited today's game.
Nick Herbig
again went out with a hamstring. I mean, they are down to basically 2 outside linebackers along with T.J. Watt and Jeremiah Moon, if those guys are out next week. They just added them to the roster this past week. So it's they're banged up right now, and I don't think they can carry the team like maybe Mike Tomlin thought they could early in the season.
Yeah, Ray, and then, their run defense, it got gouged quite a bit. The final total wasn't I think it was like 132 or something. But Rico Dowdell ran through them pretty good, especially in the second half when they had a chance to kind of stop a couple drives. But, you know, the Cowboys went on a 15-play scoring drive to win the game, and prior to that, the other drive was a 16-play scoring drive that ate up 8.5 minutes. And so the Steelers couldn't get off the field. I don't know whether they got tired or not, but regardless, you had to give the Cowboys credit because they kept grinding their way down the field.
And T.J. Watt had a sack and a half. I'm not going to put this one on the pass rush.
No, I'm not either.
This secondary, Jerry, Beanie Bishop had a really tough game. Cam Sutton comes back in 3 weeks, but how are they going to survive with Beanie Bishop blowing coverages, committing bad penalties, and just generally not being a good pass coverage defender? So they've got issues on defense. It's not just him, but that secondary as a whole gave up way too many big plays. I think, what was it, 4 pass plays of 25 yards or more?
27 or more, right.
27
That's right.
or more. That's going to lose you a lot of football.
Yeah, and Dak Prescott passed for 357 yards, Ray, and that was the difference. You could see him attacking the middle of the field. You could see him attacking down the field. Yeah, the Steelers, as you mentioned, they tried a couple times to go down the field, but you can't go down the field to an H-back, and you can't go down the field to a 280-pound tight end. You have to be able to get the ball down to your big play guys, George Pickens, Calvin Austin, Van Jefferson. George Pickens, relatively quiet game, Ray. He had only 1 catch into the fourth quarter, and he had 2 more kind of meaningless catches. He finished with just 3 catches. I think the leading receiver had just 3 catches, and that was Pat Freiermuth, who caught that 6-yard touchdown that appeared to put put him in the lead at 17-13, 4.5 minutes to go. And you thought at that point, okay, they've survived everything else here, and maybe it's their turn to win, and they, you know, it didn't work out that way.
Yeah, Gerry, it was a long drive, but there were chances for the Steelers to get off the field there. I think several third downs that the Dallas Cowboys were able to convert, obviously the 4th down at the end. So just disappointing overall. You're paying that defense a lot of money. Guys like T.J. Watt, Cam Hayward, Micah Fitzpatrick, and they can't get Patrick Queen. You can't get off the field twice in the fourth quarter. Outscored 14-0. Or excuse me, they give up 14 points. The defense does in the fourth quarter. You're expecting much more out of this unit.
Second loss in a row for the Steelers, drops them to 3-2. Now tied with the Baltimore Ravens, who to me clearly are the best team in the NFL. Both those teams are 3-2. The Steelers go to Las Vegas on Sunday. That's a 4:25 game. Then they come back here to Acrisure Stadium for 2 more primetime games, Sunday night against the Jets, and then the following week, Monday night against the Giants. So this was a good opportunity. Cowboys tried to hand them the game, Ray, and they certainly didn't take it. The Steelers ending up in a 2017 defeat. For Ray Fittipaldo, our cameraman, Brian Batko, I'm Gerry Dulac. You're watching Post-Gazette.com.
Thank you for checking out this content from Post-Gazette Sports. If you watch this video on YouTube, please like the video and subscribe to our channel. For all of the sports coverage the Post-Gazette has to offer, visit Post-Gazette.com.